Imagine this. You wake up, you go to tech question. You don't go to Google, you don't scroll TechZim. You just ask in AI, and that's it. No clicks, no ads, no articles, just answers. Isn't that interesting? Welcome to Ill Mind, where the truth is real and the story is insane.
Hi, creatives. You know how people always say, I love your content, but don't really show it?
Now they can with Tip.
Roughly 1 in 5 visits to top internet sites starts with a search, according to SEMrush. But AI is changing the game before that first click even happens. In 2024, Google introduced AI overviews, AI-generated summaries that appear on top of search pages. I think by now everyone has seen them. Publishers have sounded the alarm. Traffic is falling off a cliff. Why? Because people no longer click. They get what they need from summary and bounce. Pew Research says once an AI summary appears, only 8% of users still click a link. This is down from 15%. Sites are reporting up to 79% drop in traffic when AI overview appears, even if they are the number 1 result. Chegg, the education company, lost 49% of its non-subscriber traffic. Revenue is down by 24%. Or because AI started doing the homework instead. One day we'll do a whole episode about Chegg. I've got a story. According to SimilarWeb, 37 of the top 50 US news domains have seen year-over-year traffic decline since May 2024. And it's not all bad. AI referral traffic to some big sites like Yahoo, Reuters, Business Insiders is slowly growing, mostly through ChatGPT and Perplexity. But experts are warning us, if your business still runs on search engine optimization, prepare for 20 to 40% drops in traffic by 2025, unless you pivot to AEO, that is answer engines optimization. And it's not just news. In May 2025 alone, TripAdvisor saw search traffic plummet 34%, Starbucks 41%, Netflix 23%. These are all big brands and they are dealing with the same pain. So apparently the internet used to be a mall. Now it's just one shop and the cashier and AI. It gives you the goods and says, don't worry about where I got it. So what about TechZim? I think you may be wondering why I added TechZim in all this. If 1 in 5 searches now skips your page and most local traffic comes from search, then TechZim is scrambling for scraps. What do I mean? In February 2025, TechZim peaked at 75.3k visits. By July, they were down to 9.5k. That's a sharp decline. Even though their search value didn't collapse entirely, it's still a red flag. So what is happening is we are seeing a new era where the whole web searching is being shaped. Even if TechZim nails answer engine optimization, AI will scrape its content, answer local questions about Econet bundles or net once shared pricing, but readers would never visit the site. That's digital daylight robbery. So people still value local insights, but if they don't click, ad revenue dries up. This is what I'm trying to point out in all this, that there is a change in how people are visiting websites. People are no longer visiting websites that much. People are using these AI agents, these AI chatbots to get information, to save their self time of reading through an article. So people still value local insights. That one I agree. But if they don't click, ad revenue dries up for majority of all the news sites in Zimbabwe. That include TechZim. Unless these sites build beyond AI, which is events, podcasts, newsletters, the ad model is drying. Imagine TechZim spending hours analyzing Zim switch and you get that breakdown from a bot. It's like hiring a chef. Then people decide to skip the restaurant and they go and eat the food from the back door. That's savage. In May, Business Insider laid off 21% of its staff. Their CEO wrote, business models are under pressure, distribution is unstable, competition for attention fiercer than ever. So what's the industry doing to deal with this whole issue? So OpenAI has signed deals with the Atlantic, Financial Times, Vox, News Corp, Hearst, Dash Meredith, Axel Springer, all to license their content for training and display. That's another business model that other news sites are using. So some publishers actually earn millions per year. Axel Springer reportedly secured tens of millions of euros, but local platforms like TechZim, not even in the room, no invites, no deals. How will they survive? And here's a kicker. ChatGPT can now log into pay world sites with the permissions, yes, but it means even login barriers are fading. Some business models were subscription based, where a person has to log in first into the platform to access full news details, but ChatGPT can now log in. That's a whole different message. So much of our local news sites are not being paid, but ChatGPT answers local, for example, Econet queries using scraped content. No attribution, no revenue. Local news is becoming free fuel for AI. Even global players are uneasy because of this whole issue, where OpenAI has licensing deals with the Atlantic FX Fox, but Axel Springer told why that its journalists weren't even consulted. But nonetheless, they signed anyway. They had no choice. It's not just news giants either that are being roped into this whole thing. Expedia CEO said in May they already partnering with the AI companies and building experiences around the ecosystem. Meanwhile, brands are pivoting from search engine optimization to answer engine optimization, optimizing content so it ranks in AI answers, not just Google. But even that is a losing game. Answer engine optimization is expected to cannibalize 20 to 40% of search engine optimization traffic by 2026. And by 2028, AI research may overtake traditional Google traffic entirely. So now AI is the new colonizer, and content, that's the gold. We thought we were building empires of knowledge. Turns out we're just feeding the machine. So this is human time now. After all the facts I've laid above, first thing, the newspaper business was already dying. I think majority of people are aware of this. The internet actually gave it a lifetime. It acted as a savior in a way. Online news saved it for a while. Now AI is cutting off that very same oxygen. It's now directly attacking the business model that was supporting all these news pages. What happens next? AI referrals are growing for sure, but not fast enough to make up for the free fall of organic searches. And the longer that gap exists, the worse it gets for the publisher still holding the mic. The question isn't just, is this the end of news sites? For example, TechZim, all the Zim papers news sites. Here's a human twist. What if they have to become something else entirely different just to survive? And the scariest part, not even they know what that something else is, because neither do we. So we are seeing a world where distribution of news has been breached by AI, and AI is actually taking information from these news sites and delivering it to people without the owners of these sites benefiting from anything, especially in the outskirts, in countries like Zimbabwe, where I don't think we can actually challenge OpenAI on any issue. So clicks are dying, questions are evolving, and the platforms we grew up with, they might not work, they might not make it at all. At the end, they might not make it at all at the end of this whole AI kerfuffle. This isn't just about TechZim. This is not just about all news sites. This is about every voice that thought the internet would give them power, only to realize it gave them the power to something else. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Illmind, where this episode might get summarized by AI and I get mad about it. It's a mad world out there. I just connect the dots. Stay woke, stay weird. This was Illmind.